All right. One of the last weeks is upon us. We are now in week 17. Jordan, are we doing a pod after? We're going to do a recap pod, right? After this week?
Yeah, we could do that.
We'll do one more. Okay, so the second to last pod. And we accomplished what we were trying to accomplish last week, but we got, I'm one of the losers. I'm on here. Jordan's one of the winners. He's on here, so it worked out with the co-hosts. But we also had the winner and loser from last week also on here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
First, the winner.
First, the winner. It's JJJ here on the pod again. I apologize for the inaccurate playoff predictions last time, but again, I'm not liable.
I got fucked. I'm a loser. King of the West, Phil King. Somehow. That's it. That's all I got.
How apt the semifinals came down to the Phil King and the real King of the West this year.
Listen, if Russell Westbrook was doing anything, we'd be having a different conversation. Or if I wasn't an idiot picking the wrong defense.
Baker Mayfield really said you are not going to make the finals this year.
What? Yeah, honestly. I mean, that was disappointing to see. And also, watching that game and seeing Russell constantly throw fucking pick after pick.
Yeah, he fucking...
It was like Dumbledore, you shall not pass.
Absolutely. It is exactly like that. I remember that moment in the movie, too.
I love Charles.
Lord of the Wands?
Lord of the Wands, dog.
It's a great flick. Seen it on the hub many times.
Oh my gosh. Talk about a skin flick.
Well, we started last week with JB talking about the state of his team because we got him on. So that would be me and Wardle. Wardle, how do you feel your season went? How do you feel the last game went? What's the state of the King of the West going forward?
Dude, my team was fucking dog shit. I shouldn't have made it into the playoffs to begin with.
Does your record support that statement?
6-8. What do you think, pal? Do you think your season should
What were your points for? What were your points for? How are your points for looking?
Like middle of the pack? Lower end of the middle of the pack?
Okay. Yeah, looks like you were 3, 4, 5. You were number 6.
Against. Except for Todd.
Yeah, and you snuck your way in. I truly don't understand how the algorithm picked you, but actually, I do have something I gotta say.
Here we go.
Cole's not going to be happy that I say this, but I do know why the algorithm picked. Well, I don't know why Wardle specifically was picked because there were a couple of 6 and 8 teams, but I know why Cole didn't make the playoffs. I was waiting for him to own up to this himself all season, and he wouldn't do it. But I'm dropping it now, especially because I got nothing to lose. I thought I was doing the right thing by holding it back, but I guess maybe once he missed the playoffs, me not sharing it might have not put me in Harambe's favor, but there's a little light that needs to be shed here right off the top at the beginning of this pod. After our draft night, great night, going to Wardle's mansion with a basketball court on the roof, playing some ball, heading back.
It was actually a penthouse.
Penthouse, okay, all right.
Yeah, second floor penthouse.
Went, had some drinks. Cole stayed at my place. When we were getting...
Y'all fucked?
Out of the car. No. No, hey, let me finish.
Oh.
When we were on our way back, Cole broke the El Harambe.
What?
Harambe came off the top of the El Harambe, and Cole tried to act, I don't know what happened, look, it's broken, after he was holding it on the whole way back. Cole broke the El Harambe.
Did you not do the same thing?
No, I did it.
Oh, okay.
I let someone else take the blame for it.
All I did was add the beautiful accent mark over the E. That's all I did. I made it correct. But
Wait, which E?
the E and L.
Okay, just making sure.
So that's all I did. Intentional, unintentional, that doesn't need to be said, but I just added an accent mark. But no, Cole broke the El Harambe. And I told him from the night he did it, I fixed it. I used super glue, put him back on. And then I told Cole, you need to tell the league ASAP, or else it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And he said no. Over and over, I would remind him when he started doing his losing streaks, and then he got all cocky with Ascended Loesch. I told him again and again, I'm like, look, you need to do this, and he would not do it. I don't have my phone on me, but he said something like, I would rather walk backwards into hell than tell the league what I did. So that's a misquote, but it's somewhere around that. And he never did.
Wow.
He never did.
I don't think he deserves it.
Cole
So
broke
for
the
future,
Harambe.
is it
What's that?
not? I said just for future. Is it someone else's? Say situation happens where I don't know. Say I break the El Harambe and Vaz the only witness. Is it not Vaz's obligation to tell the league?
So I think Sean brings up a good point. He he doesn't want to rat Cole out, and then he wants to give Cole the opportunity to do the right thing. But then I think as soon as Loesch doesn't make the playoffs, I think it's time to say something.
That's where I think
Well,
I
see,
made the mistake.
let's look at who else didn't make the playoffs. Or
Ted.
not the playoffs, but I mean, who didn't get
Right,
to
to
the
the
finals.
finals. Right, and that is actually that's what I was saying at the beginning. I think that's where my mistake was made when Cole didn't make the playoffs. I think I should have said I should have ratted him out then, but I waited, and at that point, if he didn't do it then, I knew he wasn't going to do it, so I shouldn't have waited till now. But that's probably what cost me actually. But I felt like I would give him the chance to be a man about it, and he didn't do it.
I'm surprised Loesch didn't lose the second round of the losers bracket. Because if he had, then we 100% know what was going to happen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably because the bad energy got passed on for me at that point for not ratting him out.
Yeah.
But
Are we hoping Matt loses?
I am. Yeah.
I think that'd be really funny if he does.
I absolutely am. Just because of
If who loses?
Matt. Are you rooting for Matt to lose?
Got a lot of respect for Matt, but Ted's that boy. I got to root for Ted.
Respect for Matt's there, but he is my Vikings rival, so yeah, I do have to root for him to lose anyway.
Which is surprising. You and him are the only Viking stands in the chat. You think you'd stick with him?
Yeah, you would think, right? But
I
instead,
think Sean wants to be the one and only Vikings fan.
yeah,
Sean wants to be the lone Vikes.
Yeah, I want to be the lone Vikes. That's why, a few years ago I said, hey, here's my friend from Melbourne. He's a Vikings fan, so I could bring two of us in. Maybe I wanted him, but then now I'm regretting it. Now I'm regretting having to share in the wealth as the only Vikings fan. But yeah, so that's where we're at with Loesch. That is definitely, you can't, because I don't understand how the algorithm worked, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Why didn't he make it? All signs on Vaz's very well done playoff sheet made sense, pointed to Cole. And everything.
Was it well done? 'Cause it was wrong.
I was going to say, very well done, but surprisingly inaccurate.
Well, I think it was. Could it be argued that it was accurate if it weren't for Cole and the whole El Harambe? I mean, Harambe's will was done there. I think is at the
I
end,
feel like that
end of the day.
transcends statistics and
I think
science.
Bob might have done
Can
the
you
right
say you're
math.
autistic?
What'd you
So-
say?
Huh?
Hey, boy, say what?
What? So, Wardle, you got any more words on the state of the team?
I mean, like Nathaniel Hackett, we're going to be really looking into the coach this year and questioning his decisions because I don't think LeBron as a guest coach is really working out anymore. But, we'll have to see. That news is going to be coming soon.
Is there going to be a name change from King of the West?
Again, we're exploring all options at this point.
Wow.
Washington gave up their team name recently, so we might be co-opting that one. We're not sure yet. You know?
Okay.
What is that? The football team?
Yeah. That's the one. That's definitely the one we were looking at there.
Oh, okay.
You can name yourself like the fantasy football team.
Like, yeah, it could be a route. We're looking at all options. We're looking at the AFL even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, well, to speak on the state of my team, we're going to remain biting kneecaps. I'm going to keep moving forward. Good regular season. Bummed that it ended the way it ended. If we're talking about fantasy, I mean, Harambe's will be done, and that's just it at the end of the day. That doesn't matter what I say. But I think in terms of fantasy, looking at position ranking, looking at points for, looking at wins, I think I objectively have the best team overall. And so it's a bummer when the best team doesn't win. So best built team, but then you also need Harambe's will. And so I didn't have that. And so that obviously then puts me not winning the league. And so tough to take an L when you build a good squad. But, you know, good. I don't know. How do we feel about
that?
What's that?
Because I couldn't hear you over your own little autofellatio there.
Yeah,
Can you repeat all that?
Very sloppy. Lots of sound.
Was my sound actually bad?
No,
Dumbass.
Okay.
You just keep blowing your own
sucking
team.
yourself off.
Hey, listen.
I will say, like, you did have a solid team, and I think regardless of who I was facing in the finals, like I'm facing Jordan, and I'm, you know, it's going to be a tough matchup. But regardless, even if it was Sean, I think I'd be scared too. Would have been tough either way.
Yeah. Well, I just it was a tough way to finish a good season. How do we feel on Loesch's stance about the whole JB coming on saying he had a good year and then Loesch calling him a loser for it? Do we agree with Loesch there, or do you agree that JB can say he had a good year?
I think JB can say he had a good year.
I only
Loesch
agree
can
with
disagree.
Loesch in the same property of me being able to call you a fucking loser, but I don't think JB's a loser.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah.
I got it. Like a double standard sort of thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I will say, you know, it was a fun year up to the point of the loss. I wouldn't, you know, losing a chance at the El Harambe all in all makes it an angry year. So, especially when being so close. So here we are. But yeah, I'm not changing any of my stuff. Hoping to get back in Harambe's good graces next year and make another run. Hopefully try to put together a better team. Made some good trades. Though I will say, and Jordan, you can speak on this. If I hadn't traded Jeddah to you, were you planning on making a trade with someone else? With Barkley?
Yeah, I probably would have found another trading partner to get. I wouldn't have gotten, obviously, the best receiver in fantasy, but
Right.
I would have worked out something else.
Now,
'Cause
I don't
needed
want to name...
shore up that wide receiver.
Because I know we talked before we traded for a bit, and I'm not naming names if you don't want me to name names, but there was someone that you were close with. Would you think that would have been the one that you made?
For Cooper Cup,
Yeah.
like Ted, it depends. I was reaching out to a few people.
Okay. Because that definitely... I mean, the El Clasico is always a fun matchup. It was our first playoff matchup since year 2, and it made for a good game. But it does... Thinking that you could have traded Saquon for Cup and then Cup getting hurt to make me think that I created my own monster that took me down with that trade by giving you Jeddah. Because I even said to you, I feel like one of us just gave one of us the league with this trade because you held strong with your running backs, you know, that you had already. And, dude, Jeddah just went nuts after I traded him. So you made the right fucking move.
Yeah, picking up Jeddah was huge because I had that running back depth, and then what I didn't have was that wide receiver that could pop off. And now Devontae Smith, obviously this week also, had a nice little pop off. He's been doing that the past couple of weeks, which is huge. Hopefully that can continue because, yeah.
Minshew did really well.
Yeah,
Minshew
came
did
in.
do well. And I'll say this, I do complain a lot when I lose. Wardle knows he beat me this year. And I pick and choose.
Only when you lose?
I mean, I wasn't complaining about my wins. So
No, but you would find something to complain about.
Maybe. All I gotta say is I pick and choose who I want to get mad at when I lose. And Wardle, I think it was Dalvin Cook when I played you. I got mad at, but
Yeah.
but I will say, fuck the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck them. You are. This is the last thing I'll say on the state of my team. You are fighting, and they won. They did win. And talking about real football, they won. You're fighting for. You're at home against a backup quarterback. And you're fighting to make it, you have a chance of winning that division still. And you go to try and do that, and you let that other you barely beat him with a backup QB. He has played like 3 snaps all year, and then you let Devonta Smith have a almost career fantasy, or I should say season fantasy high. I think, right, Jordan, if you look back at week 3, Devonta had you like 28 point something, a little bit more one week. And like he almost matched his season high with 28 points and just went absolutely nuts. And then you let like the defense score a touchdown. Like you are a shit fucking franchise. Fuck you, Dallas Cowboys. If you just played half competent, then I would be fine. Fuck the Cowboys forever because fuck them. And that's all I have to say. We'll be back next year biting the caps.
I will say Gardner could probably start for a handful of teams around the league.
He did start. I mean, he started for Jacksonville and he did all right. I just think that it was his first. You're the Dallas Cowboys. You're at home. It was Minshew's first starting reps like all season, right? I mean, Hurts has been healthy all season. You've had him.
Yeah.
How you got to? I mean, he can't not be a little, but he wasn't. He wasn't rusty at all. Came right in, fucked me right up the ass, and that was it. So
I said Minshew mania, baby.
Yep. And yeah. Anyway, we'll.
I will say the other thing, not to rub more dirt into the wound, but Sean and I were both fighting for that number 1 seed like a couple weeks before the playoffs, and if I had ended up getting it, Jordan would have beat me. Just going how the points fell, and then Sean would have beat Wardle, and it would be El Clasico in the finals again.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been nice.
But maybe I wouldn't have had that little tinker stinker time where I lost that week against you.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have been stocked up with anger, and the team would have stayed.
It's true. Well, either way, we've got our 2 boys in here who are making it to the final. So let's because we don't have much in terms of our normal stuff to talk about. So why don't we each have you take a turn, thinking about what's coming? How are you feeling about the matchup?
I do want to take a little look at poor Ted and his matchup before we advance.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
he lost by 4 points, and as much as it pains me to say, Danny Dimes would have gotten him the dub over Aaron Rodgers.
I could have told you that.
Well, I don't need your input. It's kind of just like... But it's very sad because he did have a massive week from Cam Akers. It doesn't help that he's got a bomb in his RB1 with DeAndre Swift. But, I mean, Jalen Waddle played well. Cam Akers played well. I mean, you could obviously hope that... You can't just put it on Rodgers, I guess, because there are other people on his bench that maybe he could have started and gotten the dub with, but...
Plenty, yeah, agreed.
Gosh, this is just sad to see. Do you think he loses the league next week? This week.
That's a good question. I'll start, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and say, well, let me pull the matchup for myself and for the listeners too, just so we can see what the matchup looks like. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think that it'll be Matt. I think it'll be Matt because, right, if we're talking about Cam Akers getting 37, we're talking about him regressing to a mean because it's also just not 1 week. It's not like he was 2, 5, 4, and then 37, right? It was. Let me get to the matchup here.
2010, 12, 37.
Yeah, 2010, 12. So even if he regresses back to like 12 to 15, that's still not a bad week. And I think I'll say this, and of course I'm biased. But the Lions have sucked at running the fucking football for about a month now, and they've put a lot of emphasis on it this week from the stuff I've been looking at, just because of how embarrassing it's been. And the Bears are the worst NFL run defense. And so I think this is, with playoffs kind of on the line, I think this is where DeAndre Swift maybe doesn't have 27 like in week 1, but maybe he gets back to like 15, 16 range, 15 to 20 range. And I know I'm pulling for Ted too, but I think I like Jalen Waddle to go against Diggs. I think he needs to get raw. I think he needs to start Daniel Jones. I don't know why he keeps putting Aaron in there, but no, I think Ted does not lose the league. What do you all think?
Say no either, but my reasoning is just how fantasy works. Ted's record is like 2-12, and then Matt is 6-8. Granted, he's had very low points for, but the way fantasy always seems to work is even if you have by far the worst team, like by record or anything, somehow you just end up not losing the league. I think it happened with Flower one year. I forget who. I don't know if did he send Ted to the like as a ultimate loser, but
it might have been Ted.
Yeah. So I'm just going off of like the fantasy narrative. I don't think he's gonna lose.
Yeah, I really don't know. Right now he's projected to lose. Obviously that doesn't mean too much, but it really just comes down to who shows up. Obviously, Harambe's will. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous for old Teddy, because I really don't know. I don't know if he can. You look at his points across the year. I mean, I'd have to go back and look, obviously, but I don't remember him having many weeks even scoring over 100. Like, I feel
like I can look at the schedule real quick, but this is the first time he's scored over 100 since I think week 8, and then the highest he scored ever, except for week 1 and 2, where he was in the 130s.
Yeah, so I mean, shucks, it's not going to be too ideal. One thing that could be a positive, which sucks for Buffalo, but Stephon Diggs has an illness that who knows how he'll be feeling come Sunday. It's going to be interesting.
Monday.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got an extra day, so he'll probably end up playing.
That illness could affect you guys' game too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like more targets for Dawson Knox.
True.
Wardle, who you picking?
Y'all watch Avatar too?
No.
Not yet. I want to though.
I mean,
is there a lot of hair-to-hair action?
There is, honestly.
So bring the Jergens.
I mean, yeah, you should have brought it anyway. You should bring it anyways whenever you're in a movie. No, who do I think is going to win? I don't know. It's like we can guess, but it's still a 50-50 toss-up. I would have never guessed Cam Akers would be the fucking man last week, but he was going crazy. I don't know. I do hope, for Ted's sake, pulling out a win this week and like pulling out of that nosedive would be pretty cool. But who knows?
Is James Cameron obsessed with water?
Yeah, are you kidding me? He's like gone deep as fuck into the ocean. I don't know what his deal is, but he loves that shit.
What? Because like, what are his movies that like So Way of the Water, right? He did Titanic, right? He did. Yeah. I mean, even last Avatar was very watery too at points. I mean, and what?
He did
are there a couple other ones?
Waterworld. Yeah, Terminator 2 is all about water.
Wait, did any of you guys see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?
No. But water seems to be the move this year, doesn't it?
That is very heavy water themed, and the people in the water are blue.
That's kind of.
They're called Mexicans, Varun.
So you have seen it?
No, I've just seen Mexicans in the water.
Yeah,
we turn blue.
Essentially, what it is. They make them great swimmers in there.
I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers versus the Vikings is not necessarily the worst bet. I mean, if you want more consistent play, Daniel Jones might be a good move, but he always wants to flex that discount double check on that division, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to give Ted any kind of advice here about starting Aaron or not. He knows what to do.
Or he doesn't, and he guesses. And either way, more power to you, Ted. Because that's how I've been operating this season.
He's going to throw us all a curveball and try Deshaun Watson.
We're going to pick up Jared Goff after I drop him.
Let's keep letting him get passed around for no reason because he's a top not quarterback 9, and we're letting him get tossed around all season. He's been tossed around.
No, remember, no one can add him because he was dropped after someone's starter got hurt.
Isn't that next season though? Officially,
What do you mean?
If we agree to it, the roster locking concept that will be put on the table for next season.
No, yeah, next season it might become like a rule in the league, but this season it's ethically unjust or
Is it an honor
ethically.
system thing?
Yeah.
Wait, so I got in trouble for like picking him up and not even playing him?
That's why you lost.
Well, no, you didn't get in trouble. Just your ethics and your morals are questioned. But you didn't.
Because I saw some dude on the waiver. Also, to add to this, furthermore, well, yeah, I did have an injured QB. I had Kyler Murray, and on top of that, I picked up Baker Mayfield, which shouldn't have been a fucking move that I did. But on top of that, I don't listen to this podcast. So how would I have known that he didn't just drop him for no reason?
Maybe you should be the host of the podcast next year.
I'm going to care too much about the podcast.
So
How many
I'm going to
episodes
care
did
too
you
much.
Yeah, well, anyway, so here's the deal. 2 potential winners, chance at a dub. How are we feeling going in? Someone start. How are we feeling about the matchup? How are we feeling about the team, outlook, all that stuff?
I'll be honest, I am hella nervous just because I don't think my team has been performing up to their standard these last few weeks. And then on the other side of that, Jordan's team has been doing very well these last few weeks. Jordan losing Derrick Henry for this last week makes me feel a little bit better, but I mean, he's still got solid receivers and solid running backs. So, yeah, we'll see. Josh Jacobs is going to have to deliver the 40 defense.
Dude, Josh wants out of Vegas. He is fucking bombing that game.
Dude, Derek Carr's out too, so I don't know how the fuck it's gonna go.
yeah, but you got the skid mark slinging it.
True.
Yeah. And on top of that, and not having JT, who granted hasn't been the best this season, but I'd feel a bit more comfortable having one of the J's in my team name playing. I've been replacing him with Jerry Judy for the last couple weeks, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm nervous. Jordan's got a solid team.
I do think Algier was a solid pickup.
Yeah, you saw how much I spent on him?
I didn't. How much?
27.
Is that like the majority of your budget remaining?
It was the most out of. I looked at who would have incentive to pick him up, and it would be either you and then the 2 people in the losers game.
Oh, so it's more than anyone else
More
could.
than anyone else could have done.
Nice.
I don't even know if we'll look at the offers report later in the podcast, but I'm putting anything on him. I picked up Tyler Higbee, so now I got to tinker with my tight ends a little bit. I got 3, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to you, Varun, I think you're underselling your team. But yeah, I mean, this last week was my game to lose, and I lost it. So I guess it's also as much up to the fantasy gods on what happens with the players, too.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at Jordan's team, last week he scored a lot, but there were people that overperformed. So, if that doesn't happen, and then I feel like it could be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, and you have, again, you have Jacobs just super fucking underperforming last week. Who else? I mean, Deontay Johnson's a fucking wild person to play in there, but...
Well, injuries, that was the main reason he was in.
Yeah.
I got Debo and maybe Olave back. I got Debo in right now.
They got some choices.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, Yeah, I got people injured, but it's hashtag next man up, baby. I built running back depth for a reason. So, because running backs get hurt. Jalen Hurts is hurt, but it's Minshew mania, baby. It's, what's going to happen is going to happen. I'm ready to rock and roll. Ready to get this dub.
I just want my first fantasy dub.
How are you feeling
I'm not
about
going to say this was a lie, but I really wish that I traded Motor for Saquon Barkley straight up when you sent me that trade, Jordan.
Yeah, you made a mistake, my friend.
How do you feel about going against Josh Allen?
Don't love it. But if he throws a tutty, I hope it's to Dawson Knox.
I mean, he's got one the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, so when he throws a tutty, I hope it's to Dawson Knox. I do see a Q next to Knox, which I don't love.
I think
He's hurt every week, though. I had Dawson Knox last year, and it was like every week he would be questionable, and then he'd still play.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta look into that, why he is. But yeah, I mean, shit. I could sit here and fucking complain about Damian Pierce being hurt, Jalen Hurts being hurt, Derrick Henry, but that's fucking fantasy. Injuries happen. You gotta adapt. Hopefully the lineup I got is enough to put me over the edge and get me this dub. Number 3 incoming.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Dawson Knox, it says, Knox is downplaying what he previously described as a little hip pointer. He sported a red no-contact jersey at Thursday's practice. And he's got 2 more chances to increase his activity before the game.
Yeah, that hip pointer, he was about like 6 feet in the air and came right down on his little hip. So hopefully he's okay. But
I mean, Waller isn't the worst person to have either. He's not
exactly.
that consistent, but I think with a rookie, or not a rookie, but less experienced QB, a tight end is always like a nice security blanket.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm real glad that Matt dropped him early in the year. I was able to snag him up, sit him on IR for a little bit. Now he's back. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to go that route. I'd love to play Dawson, but we'll see what happens.
Is there any chance Gabe sees some action in the final game?
This week?
Yeah. Any chance he gets tinkered out?
I mean,
or tinkered
in? The lineup is still fluid. I'll typically do a little meditation with some vitamins, and that's usually when I decide my final lineup.
Aaron Rodgers vitamins?
Yeah, I would assume Aaron Rodgers consumes these vitamins.
No, do these vitamins come from Aaron Rodgers?
No. I wish I had a fucking landline to Aaron Rodgers. Just pick that guy's brain.
Well, I told you this over text, but I'm rooting for Va.
I understand.
I'm not like I know JB's rooting for you because you beat him and he wants you to win the whole thing so he could lose to the winner. I get that mindset, but yeah, I think it'd be good for Va. I would enjoy seeing Va get one, and 3 in 7 years though, that would be domination. So that is a it's good to see parity, I guess. Big reason I'm pulling for Va, and seeing Jetta win after I trade him would be tough too. And then just the El Clasico rivalry on top of that. But still, though, I don't think there's anyone in the league that I genuinely wouldn't care to see like win.
Cole.
Maybe Cole. Yeah, Cole.
Yeah, for me it's Cole.
Yeah. Cole. Yeah. Cole's about the only one.
That would just be insufferable.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, you guys let me win?
Yeah. Wardle, who are you rooting for?
He's going to say
I don't know. I am kind of neutral. I do like being the only Brownie that's won the El Harambe.
Man, I always forget that you won.
I know, I'm the most forgotten season, but biggest name on that trophy, baby.
Well, I mean,
No,
shit. I think you have the highest average finishing position in the league.
You do. I don't know if that's going to change because of this. No, because if you beat me, it wouldn't. It definitely wouldn't.
Playoffs.
Yeah, because I think he's fourth overall.
Fourth. Yeah, so he won't fall.
Yeah, so he's not going to fall.
Yeah, I mean, I think either would be good to see. I think Varun winning would be cool because you haven't really won, and you've been. How many years have you been in the winners bracket, Varun?
Twice, I think. Like this second year.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid.
Last time I won, I just got eliminated in the first round.
Yeah, and even if it's my own doing, he still beat me. So I mean, it's always like, oh, at least I got beaten by the winner. But
yeah,
Jordan winning means that it opens up this whole cycle to maybe start again. Hopefully, so if he wins again next year, and then the year after that, we have some like fucking tie-in loser come in and just get kicked out immediately, and then I win again. So let's see if that happens.
Well, listen, that loser is a mogul, so
he's a multimillionaire. I can't deny that.
I am going to say I am worried that me getting to this game and then what's going down, whatever, is I'm going to have to answer for all the little subtle shit talking I've thrown Vaz way throughout the year on this pod.
not so subtle shit talking.
Yeah, the not so subtle shit talking.
Denying it right after doesn't make it subtle, Jordan.
Especially because he hasn't been able to respond because he's not on every week.
I gotta like call you out in the chat, and it just feels like sad at that point.
Isn't that the beauty of having a platform, though?
Well, yeah, I feel like that's my obligation as someone that has a platform to just shit talk people that can't really respond.
So there's that classic Sean host strategy. Just let the silence.
Listen. I had my mic muted. I'm trying to stop the fucking audio from fucking up. So, yeah. Well, do we have any icy hot takes we want to throw in? I mean, we've got 2 games, so I don't really think icy hot.
I want to highlight a former icy hot take of mine. I forget which week exactly it was. But my icy hot take was Sean will get the first seed, he'll secure the first seed, and then he'll lose in his first matchup in the playoffs. And, hey, what do you know?
Yeah, I did pull a Wardle and go Mr. Bye Week. And
you never really want the bye week.
Fucking, yeah, put up the most points in the league on the week of the bye. And then to come off and lose. Yeah.
Did you actually?
Yes, I put up you. It was you and me the first week. It was you had like 165 and I had 168. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. And then we just flipped the next week, 1 and 2. So
dang.
Just fucking yeah. So yeah, fucking pulled a Mr. Bye Week now. And yeah, that's true. I'd also like to highlight we still have 1 game left, which is fair. Well, no, actually, the league still, fantasy football still has, 2 games left. But I don't know if it'll cut our league off after this in terms of keeping track of points. But I think that Jared Goff I think Goff is going to end as the better fantasy quarterback than Aaron.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron can really close that gap.
No, because the gap, I mean, if you go to the ad players and you go to quarterback, and then you just hit their fantasy points. Right now, Goff is sitting at in 9th, and he's sitting at 331 on the season. And then Rodgers is at 16, and he's at 279. So we're talking about a 52-point difference.
Yeah, so I mean, unless I make a call right now to someone in Detroit to go take out Jared Goff's kneecaps so he can't play,
and he Rodgers has to score an average of 25 points or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's if Goff doesn't score a single point.
Well, correct. You just heard me say that.
Oh, I got you. Your Bob was playing off of your your hypothetical. Yeah.
Wait, so can I ask? So, what JB dropped Goff,
Yeah,
and why did he drop him? Because he lost, or what?
because he picked up Rob Gronkowski because Gronkowski put out a tweet on board. He thought that meant he's joining the team. What it really meant is he's joining FanDuel or something. I think it was FanDuel, BetMGM, something
FanDuel,
like that.
yeah, FanDuel.
So what it genuinely, I'm not like offended or anything or trying to defend myself, but why, what was like the whole commotion about me picking him up? Why was that bad?
No, so no one was coming after you. It was just brought up because it was more on the pod, like that we were talking about it. It was just, in my opinion, because I thought that dropping, because the idea of dropping like what's considered like a top 10 quarterback when you're making a non-competitive move and you're out of contention, I thought essentially at first was thinking Goff should be untouchable because he's a top 10 player in the league, and he was dropped in like a non-competitive move. It's like the same, and I might have been overvaluing Goff, but I viewed it the same as, or around the same as like if I lost this week and then dropped like Jamar Chase or dropped like Nick Chubb, that it's like,
Or like how
it should be untouchable.
how Wardle's going to drop James Cook and Tyreek, or Dalvin Cook and
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, it's just like Goff. I considered Goff as one of those where it's like that's a game changer. And I was, with Jordan's quarterback situation, I was like, I'm not trying to go down to Jared Goff. Which, by the way, Jared Goff put up 33 more than Minshew, and I was not about to go down to Jared Goff, in a move that's like I feel like should be considered in that realm. Like I just said, I feel like everyone would make some noise if someone like in a non-competitive move out of contention dropped like I said, if I dropped Jamar Chase or dropped Saquon this week, people would be like, hey, he can't be picked up. That's not, I feel like Goff should have been treated that way last week.
So he made that move after he had lost.
Yes. Yeah, he was out of contention.
Okay, so I do get what y'all are saying. I guess if I did win this week, it would be a little bit of like a sour taste. Not that I knew him beforehand, but I do understand the whole.
And it doesn't help that after Sean asked him about it, JB responded saying someone needs him to finish their run.
Yes, well, that's what made me. So when I originally talked to Jordan about it, I was like had the idea of collusion in my head because obviously we're Final Four, like we're all trying to win. And I texted JB, I was like, interesting move dropping because he had like Michael Gallup, like wide receiver 82 on his bench too, but he chose to drop Goff. And so when I sent
Who's finally healthy.
When I sent the move to, but also, I mean, he hasn't, even since he's been healthy, he hasn't done too much. I sent the move to JB, and I'm like, interesting choice of drop, out of contention. You could have dropped like a player that doesn't really matter. And that's when he, like Jordan said, he responded, he said, someone needs him to finish off their run. And I was like, is this fucking collusion?
Well, at least it ended the most neutral way it could have. Like he wasn't even played, and he's going to be stuck on my bench now. But
yeah,
I do get the commotion that was caused from that.
Yeah,
and that's why next year it's going to be like once you're out of contention, you can't add a drop.
Yeah, because then JB on the pod brought up the point that a few years back he was fucked apparently by when he was fighting for his life in the losers bracket, not the out of Fab Dollars year, a few years before.
Yeah,
he was saying that people that were out of contention were adding like value players when JB was still fighting for his life, for people he was trying to get, and so he agreed that just in general, if you're out of contention, lock your roster, no ads, no drops, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But so do we deem contention like last week of losers bracket people, like in that last matchup?
I think contention is if at any point you're at risk of winning, or if you're at risk of losing, or you're chasing to try and win the league, you are in contention for something. So
right, but then if you're in like that second to last game and you pick up somebody, it could be like, would you argue either way that you could be out of contention anyways?
No, because second to last game you win.
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But then if you win that second to last week, then your roster's locked.
I want you all to know, while speaking about this, I dropped everybody on my team.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a rule yet.
Nope. So, Jordan, go start scrambling for Tyreek Hill.
I got $0. Jordan could just put in $1 for all the players and still get it.
Also, was it ever because I was talking to Deanna's mom last week because she got Deanna's dad a Tyreek Hill jersey, and I brought up the fact she brought up because he's a Dolphins fan, like lifelong.
You were talking to your mom?
Okay. Yeah, and so he's like he watched the Marino days and stuff, and so like he's a Dolphins fan, and so she got him a Hill jersey.
Oh, so he hates himself?
Practically as a Dolphins fan, yeah, he's turned to being an Aaron Rodgers Packers fan for the past few years, which I fucking hate. But it is what it is. So I told her this is true, right? That Tyreek Hill beat his kid up and beat up his pregnant girlfriend. Like these things
No.
They were
So
or they
in
weren't.
all,
He broke his kid's arm.
that also isn't true.
Oh.
Did he not? But I thought so. I read.
No, it's not true. He just broke his kid's arm.
I thought I
No,
read something
what-
about the pregnant girlfriend thing where it's like he admitted the
Yeah.
charges of like beating her basically up.
No, the
Verbally
pregnant
beating her.
girlfriend, pregnant girlfriend was, he was verbally abusive, but he pleaded guilty to not get any, what's it called, time, like any jail time,
Right.
while he was in college. And then the same pregnant girlfriend said that he broke his kid's arm, and then it came out in the court documents while he was winning sole custody over the child instead of the mom, which if anybody knows anything about custody, that's a real tough thing to do as a dad, is get the custody.
Right.
And it was like, she was doing it as like an attention-seeking behavior, and apparently he had just fallen from something and broke his arm that way.
Okay.
But
I gaslit her then. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Well, I mean, and it's not like it's well known, and it's not like not everybody says that. And also, at the end of the day, it's also he said, she said. The courts sided with him. It could be athlete with tons of money and influence that won that, or it could be that she was lying, or who knows the other, like what actually happened, you know?
Right.
Every single Reddit thread I see regarding Tyreek Hill, whether it's like a highlight or just like a post or something, the comments someone will be saying like, whatever, he's like a child beater and a like domestic abuser, and then the reply will be like, no, he's not, and I've never known what the truth is.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody will, so it's as easy as a guess as anybody else. Like, who fucking really knows the truth? But it's a very Reddit crusade thing to just immediately go to that if it's still up in the air.
Yeah.
Well, that would
But
be
I mean,
me.
if your goal is to stop, someone buying his jersey, I feel like it's fair game.
No, not stop.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was just like
definitely.
sharing that with her. Like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I would have never bought the jersey if I knew that about him. And little did I know I was just gaslighting her. So,
Well, I mean, he's still fucking incredible, like incredible player, and managed to do a lot of shit this year with no Chiefs, which is sad to see. But I'm even considering getting another Hill Miami jersey.
You like the aqua?
I do like Miami's colors. I just
yeah.
hate the fan base.
Yeah.
But Kareem Hunt was on camera when he did his shit, right? Is that who I'm thinking of? No. Someone who was it? Wasn't it a Ravens
Kareem
player on
Hunt
camera?
was, Joe Mixon's on camera, sucker punching a girl.
Ray Rice.
Wasn't there
Wasn't
Ray
like
Rice? That's what I'm
elevator
thinking
or
of. I'm
something?
thinking of Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rice
Kareem kicked over the girl, and then the reason he was cut from the Chiefs, because that wasn't reason enough, that he just lied to them at practice and said nothing happened. And then when the video came out, they were just like, all right, so you're lying to us, and they cut him.
He's like, oh, you mean that girl? Yeah, I kicked her.
Okay.
But let's get over this whole kicking a man versus kicking a woman thing. It's 2022.
Would you say that Froggy got kicked if you got kicked?
No, you would say I
no.
got kicked. But
Yeah.
if we were talking about him, we'd say Frog got kicked.
I don't understand why this is so difficult for Sean to understand.
I thought Sean was supposed to be like the woke one here.
Well, and he's a teacher, so like this just shows how he teaches or how he treats kids in his class that identify differently than he does.
Actually, to be fair, if a kid says they identify different now in Florida, I have to tell their parents immediately. So,
Are you serious?
yes.
Do you actually have to do that?
I do. I have to tell the kids if they're starting to say something. I have to say, hey, just so you know, like I'm a mandatory reporter on this. I have to tell your parents.
Mandatory reporter.
That's included on mandatory reporting.
No, I mean I'm using the term mandatory reporter, but it's the same concept. I mean I have to tell them. Yeah.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So.
If any teacher ever told me that my kid was pulling that shit, oh my god.
Froggy would have some words to say.
Frog would have some words to say.
I feel like you guys are mocking me, and Frog's getting angry.
See, now
Jordan, you know I sit down and listen when people talk.
Va, did he just use his own pronoun incorrectly?
About to hop on out of here.
Well,
unless
you about to go watch Avatar 2?
The way of the water.
Go watch it. I want somebody else to sit through it.
Fuck no.
That's the thing. Like the first one, I fell asleep in it. I feel like the same thing's gonna happen for me in the second.
How long is it?
It's a 3 hour and 15-minute movie, and it's disappointing. Like
it's a cinematic masterpiece, though, right?
It looked cool, but it also looked like you're watching it's like a video game. I could have played that as a game.
Also, let's remember this.
Probably been more satisfied.
This is Wardle. You're asking if it's a masterpiece.
That's true. Yeah, he has a high standard.
True. His only masterpiece is Jack and Jill.
That's
and Krampus.
And
recently Halloween.
Krampus, Va.
Listen, you joke about Krampus, but he actually really enjoyed that movie.
I do. That's a good movie. That's why.
What was that one movie about the kid that was like hiding in the house?
Home Alone.
It's like a horror movie. He was hiding in like the tunnels in the walls of the house.
Oh, The Boy?
Is that what it was called? The Boy?
Well, it's like the puppet moves or something like that, but then they find out it's like after the parents walk in the lake with bricks in their pockets.
Dude, speaking of Home Alone, though, can you believe that fucking dude from Home Alone 2 ended up becoming president?
Who? I
can't believe it either.
I saw the edited version that he's not in anymore, so I'm not sure who you're referring to. I've heard of it, but
Macaulay Culkin got edited out of Home Alone 2?
And he's a president?
Well, that I knew.
I guess. Yeah. Well, Wardle, you going to see Puss in Boots?
I've heard really good things about it, but I don't want to walk into a theater that I know is going to be all screaming children. So no.
Those are the type of theaters that Sean gravitates towards.
No. So any
quote unquote mandatory report.
Any icy hot takes?
I'm icy hotted out.
I got
I'm
one.
honest. Oh,
Sean's a fucking loser.
My icy is that I'm going to win the league.
Ooh.
Oh shit, that's icy. What's the hot part?
Icy. And the hot is it's going to be beating Jordan by 30 points.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say by scoring less points than him.
That would be incredibly hot.
I think that's too hot.
I think my icy hot is my icy. I'm gonna go the same route as Va here. I'm gonna beat Wardle, and then my hot is I'm gonna do it by scoring the most points in the entire league, just to rub salt in my wound again that I'm not in the final game.
My hot take is that I'm going to beat you with Jared Goff on my fucking bench.
Dude, let's go. Put him in the lineup right now.
I actually might. I don't know who to play between him and Dak, but it's going to be a last-second tinker and lose.
Jordan, you don't got one?
Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I'm going to say that... Oh, let me look.
While you look, Wardle, you should just tinker and put in Goff. Because...
what?
You should just tinker and put in Goff. Because that kind of guarantees that he's going to perform like shit. But then
or if I put in Goff and he plays really well and that's what beats Sean, that kind of makes me happy too.
Yeah, that's great too. But if he plays like shit, that means the Lions probably played like shit.
Yeah. That's fine.
See, you're on a whole. You're talking about real football now, Va, and you're on a whole fucked level with that because I need my boys to make the playoffs here. So,
What do they got to do?
They got to get into the playoffs and win in the first and lose in the first round. Is that the goal here?
No, we would draw the Vikings actually because if they lock up the second seed, we would have the 7th and we would win in Minnesota. So, Vikings are frauds. And if we're talking about the path of least resistance, Jordan, I would say Lions win out and the Commanders drop 1 of 2 to the Browns and Cowboys. Both games are in Washington. And then Seahawks drop 1 of 2 to the Jets and Rams, I think both of which are in Seattle. So that's the path of least resistance there.
Okay.
I don't know what you just said, but all I heard was watch Avatar 2.
I'm going to.
Watch Avatar 2. Enjoy it. I'm James Cameron.
The man makes one movie every 10 years. He's like 60-something, and he just said he has 12 more movies in him. What world does he fucking live in?
He knows something we don't.
Yeah, I'm going to make 12 more movies. James, you've released one movie in the past 10 years.
You're a 60-year-old man that spends way too much time in a fucking super pressurized submarine under the ocean.
It's like a hyperbaric chamber. He's good down there.
He's going to be like Mr. House releasing movies.
All right, so what I'm going to say is my icy hot is the icy Josh Allen. He's going to put up over 30 points, but then it gets a little hot because he'll do that by throwing 2 touchdowns to Dawson Knox and win me my motherfucking 3rd championship. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's good icy hot. All right. Well, at that point, we've hit our icy hot, sponsored by Shaquille O'Neal. And now all that's left is, do we have any final words for the league?
Well, did we look? I mean, we still haven't.
We want to hit.
I definitely want to hit Offer's report.
Oh, our offer.
Oh, my fucking God.
Okay.
There's things left to do.
It'll be worth it.
All right, I'm gonna hit. All right, I'll hit the offers report.
Avatar 2 this week.
Jordan, you hit the budget summary. Where did we leave off? We did it on Thursday, so on the 22nd. So on Friday, the 23rd, I added the Browns defense and dropped John.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Sorry, just adding suspense.
Yeah. On Friday, December 23rd, I added the Browns defense, dropped Juwan Johnson, who I added the day before, for $0, and Jared Goff got added by Wardle for $0.
Because he has zero integrity.
Exactly. And then on Saturday, the next day, I added Juwan Johnson for $0 and dropped the Browns defense, which I basically just swapped around the move from the day before. And
you guys know in like video games, there's like the actions per minute thing.
Yeah.
Or we just like click a bunch of places to like increase your actions per minute.
Yeah.
I feel like Sean does this shit to increase his like acquisitions number.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'm just a tinker even for my last position. Deontay Johnson was added by Va, $16, dropped DeAndre Carter. Okay, then we get to this past Wednesday, JJJ added Tyler Algier for $27 and dropped Travis Homer from Seattle, the running back.
Oh, Spank Engine.
Oh, shit. Spank Engine dropped $26 for Tyler Algier and did not get him because Va got him. And then Spank Engine ended up adding Chuba Hubbard for, or Chubba Hubbard, whatever it is, for...
I think it is Chuba.
It is Chuba, okay. For $15 instead, dropping Damian Harris. JJJ added Higbee for $3, dropping Tyler Boyd. And then Spank Engine added Jacksonville's defense for $0, dropping Donovan Peoples-Jones. You know, that's sad. He was a big Peoples-Jones guy, so it's sad to see him drop him.
Yeah, it is.
And then finally did not get the Giants defense for $0 because he added the Jaguars defense. And then finally, on Thursday, this morning, Thomas' Spank Engine added Hassan Haskins, Tennessee's running back, for $5 and dropped Samaje Perine. And I'm surprised Jordan did not put in a claim at all. on Hassan Haskins?
For Hassan?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to start him because I don't know who he is. I haven't seen him run the ball. I haven't seen any tape on him. And I got faith in my boy that got blasted in the preseason. Dude got shot. Now he's back. He's been back. I've drafted him. I got faith in him.
Ryan Robinson for 40?
I'm not going to be that ambitious. I think he scores a solid 20 plus, though.
Okay.
I do like that pickup by Ted, though. And that's very much like a high risk, high reward.
Yeah. I'm glad that Ted's making moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying. And to be fair, Goff is rostered, so my icy hot take about him losing the league if Goff's not rostered is that also is covered in this too, because Wardle has him. So this will be interesting. This will be an interesting last game to see what happens between these two. And the last four that are in contention for anything. Now, Ted already said he was going to make it interesting if he lost, and he would actually pick a decent challenge. I think when we were voting on those four I put up there, I put loser buys the winner's dinner, and the two people that liked that one or voted for it were Brendan and Matt. So I have a feeling that one's coming if Matt loses.
Yeah, well, Matt has the stomach issues, so I doubt he would want to eat a fucking extremely hot chip.
Or a beer mile.
Or be in Waffle House for 24 hours.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much we know what will happen if Matt loses. Ted, I'm interested to see because he did claim, he can do what he wants, but he did claim earlier that he would pick something more interesting. So,
well, hey, that's the only thing that makes me think, if Ted lost, it'd be interesting. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be more than happy to run up the bill on Matt.
Yeah, Va can only run the bill up so much with veggie burgers. So.
No. Va's splurging on some chicken.
Yeah, maybe that'll be my league winner celebration.
Va, if you win the league, are you eating chicken?
Some sloppy steaks.
Va, if you win the league, are you eating chicken?
No, I'm not.
Wow. Would you
eating sloppy steaks?
No, we're not going to slop them.
Don't let him lie to you. He's pouring that water all over that steak.
Hey, be quiet. Party listens to this podcast.
All right, well, Jordan, you want to hit the budget summary?
Yeah, you guys going to be caught a little bit off guard because we're starting with the two broke boys this time instead of the top. Biting kneecaps and JJJ, Sean Hayward, and Varan Patel are at the bottom with $0. We then move up to a $5 Matt Ganthier, Big Kirko, Thug and Cousins. We got Thomas the Spank Engine after a few acquisitions this week, sitting at $6. That's Ted Siemens. Jordan Dree, living in Babylon. He's at $8. Not too far ahead of him is Tucker Nugent, Bums R Us, at $11. James McClendon, Mr. Very, very limited, is $15 in his Waleto. James Wardell, the former king of the team, formerly known as King of the West, he is at $20. Cole Popovi, Ascended Loesch, a.k.a. Mantail the Slump Fag, he is sitting at $52. And at the very top, with a lot of money going into next year, follow Spike, Brennan Lasher.
Hate to tell him this, but it does not carry over.
What?
Does not carry over.
Is this a keeper league for cash only?
Oh my gosh, dude, we got to restart this season.
So that was a great. You've been waiting to do that for weeks, haven't you? Saving it for the very last one with the budget summary to start with the last first.
Well, technically, next week's our last, and we'll look at year-ending budget, see who's carrying the most money over.
I think we just said it doesn't carry over like within 60 seconds ago.
Oh, you forget I have hit my head multiple times in the past few weeks.
Oh, what's been causing you to do that?
I think it was the first time I hit my head. and now it's just like I have sudden blackouts.
Oh. Well,
What caused you to hit your head the first time?
I was trying to dig in the back of the cabinet to get a pot out, and came out, just smashed the back of my head on the little inside of whatever.
Wow, did Wardle just leave?
I think he did.
is he gone? He is gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
there
back.
he is.
There he is.
But he's on his phone.
Oh, hello?
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 What's up?
You got
Yeah.
somewhere better to be?
No, I got disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Fair enough.
Well,
It's
here we
over.
are. Now we're at the end. Now we can, any last words? We'll start with our two guests. Wardle, you want to go first? Any last words for the league?
Somebody else watch Avatar too. I can't be the only one.
The way of the water. Do they talk like that at all in it?
Sure, if that's what makes you watch the movie, yeah, definitely. All of them do.
Oh, sweet.
Will this one be a higher grossing film than the first one?
I have no fucking idea. I'm pretty sure it's at $1 billion already, though.
Yeah.
Hey, real question though. Didn't that guy that originally played whoever the Marine that becomes the Avatar is, isn't he dead now?
No. Is
I
he?
always get. I don't know. I think I get him because he ended up replacing a guy. I think in Spartacus, in the original Spartacus character died.
No, Sam Worthington's still alive. He just doesn't make any movies. Like after a while.
Okay.
Va?
Alright. I got some non-league related news to share. So,
Okay.
alright, I got started applying for residency after med school, and I finally got my, where I'm going to be for residency. And I'm going to be in San Antonio starting in July.
Ooh.
Hey.
Let's go.
Dude, San Antonio's sick.
Yeah, I went there for a month for an audition rotation, and the city was alright. Downtown area is kind of but I mean, I'll find nice places to live and hang out there. But the hospital system and the residence there are really chill, so it'll be fun.
Hell yeah. Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is. How close are you going to be to Flow?
Where in Texas is he?
I think he's in Bofa.
No, I'm not going to be near there.
Wardle, you should
No,
know.
I really don't know. I think he's in Austin because
I think I'll be near.
that's where EA is, right? I think EA is around Austin.
He's working
if I'm
for
not
EA?
mistaken. I thought so.
Wardle, you got no light to shed on any of this?
I thought Houston for some reason, but maybe I'm lying.
It could be. I really don't
Houston's
know.
a bit far, but Austin's like an hour away.
Hey, you could go visit Joe Rogan. You're going to be just feasting on... Actually, no, never mind. You won't. I was going to say great barbecue, but I forget.
Yeah.
You're a man of morals.
And
You can have veggie barbecue.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's any good.
Yeah, exactly.
They got some nice breakfast burritos that I can eat with vegetarian shit. Also, Torchy's down there is amazing.
Yeah, I guess the Mexican food's probably outrageous.
Yep, Tex-Mex.
You get some good what what is it called when they have the sauteed onions and peppers and shit? That's like
Fajitas.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can get some good chicken fajitas.
Well, if you listen to what he fucking said, he doesn't eat chicken.
John's just trying to tempt me.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that is awesome though, Va. Congrats on getting the residency.
Thank you.
Well, since I'm the loser of the two hosts, I'll go ahead and go. We'll save the one in the finals for last. Not really any big final words. Just may Harambe's will be done. I apologize to Harambe directly for waiting too long. Once playoffs started, it was too long for Loesch to rat on Loesch. Once I asked him one more time and he refused, I should have just ratted him right after that. And he broke the El Harambe, wouldn't own up to it. So we'll see what happens with him going forward. But yeah, in terms of the league in general, yeah, good season up until last week. But we have two people worth winning. Two people noble winners. So we'll see what Harambe's will decides.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, and I'll say feels good to get that El Clasico dub when it matters, but journey's not over. Va, good luck to you next week or this week.
You as well.
And yeah, may Harambe's will be done. Number 3 incoming. That's all I got.